I attract assholes. I'm like, no, you attract everybody. You're good looking.
Yeah.
You choose assholes.
Action.
Hi, I'm Kanchi.
And I'm Rhea.
And you're officially part of the Slumber Party squad.
So welcome back to the Spoke2SOON pod.
And today we have Shai with us, mental health coach, therapist, and now an author who just has a #1 best-selling book.
That's crazy.
Here it is, guys.
We are so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I'm very excited.
This is actually really new for us because we haven't spoken about anything like this on the pod yet, but we want to do that. So you are the first expert on the pod.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love the tag expert. I don't know if I'm really an expert, but I definitely hope to become one soon.
You have your own book.
I know I do. I do. That's true. That's true.
And we, like, our audience has so many questions for you. We've asked them to send them in. And I think these guys are going to learn a lot from you, and so are we.
Yeah.
I hope so.
We're ready to learn today.
I hope so. I learned a lot. Oh, yeah. So I hope to impart that to you guys, too. It's nice to be here.
Yeah?
It's very chill.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very poddish. I do appreciate it. Definitely different from what I usually do. So,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear the questions. I'd love to hear anything. So, let's do it.
We wanted to keep it chill and basically the vibe of a slumber party.
I love that. I have had a lot of slumber parties. Yeah.
You're a girly pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first question that I would like to get into is, how do people know that they need therapy? Like, how can someone know that they should be taking therapy?
Okay, so first of all, I'll be very honest to say it this way. I think everybody needs therapy, and you shouldn't be embarrassed if you do. Therapy has really changed. It doesn't mean you have a mental health disorder. It means that you need somebody to talk to about a discomfort that you feel. So I think that first and foremost, it's very important to identify that therapy is not a bad word, okay? And needing it or wanting it is not a bad thing. I would say that we have to understand, right, what we're talking about over here. When we're talking about stress, nobody's immune to it. But when stress, which is manageable, becomes anxiety, that sometimes needs a little processing and treatment. When fear, which is manageable, becomes a phobia, then you kind of need a little bit of, treatment. When anything like sadness and low emotions related to even your menstrual cycle or hormonal stuff suddenly becomes depression, where your executive functioning and your daily functioning becomes dysfunctional, that's when you probably need some processing or some therapeutic guidance. So I would say to know the difference between these things. It's the length of time and the intensity level that you feel these emotions. Okay. Does that answer the question?
Yeah,
that does make a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, but you said fear turning into phobia.
Absolutely.
Like, how do we know when that happens? Because I think that I'm scared of going alone in a lift and I feel I'm claustrophobic, but I don't know for sure.
Okay, so I'm very scared of going in the elevator and I am claustrophobic as well, but not to the point where I have massive panic attacks or it starts to physically manifest and impact my functioning. I would say, to answer your question honestly, Kanchi, it is the fact that when you feel something physically manifesting within you and knowing that it's very different and it lasts for too long, I think that's when you can say, okay, I need to talk to someone about it.
When you say physically manifesting within you, do you mean like you're sweating?
Absolutely, like a panic attack, but not a panic attack that resolves. A panic attack that recurs and recurs and recurs. Then we know that it's related to a core belief rather than just to, a physical, episode that happens. We know that that level of tachycardia, when your heart is racing really fast, it actually is related to some trigger, and that trigger is so important that you need to talk to an expert about it.
Yeah, and I think many people don't realize that they need to talk to someone.
The amount of, I will say that I'm very happy that I decided, I'm a brand consultant turned therapist, right? I'm very happy that I decided to become a therapist at a time when parents are more open to their children coming to me. Individuals are okay to saying, listen, I'm facing something. I'm not okay. Can you help me? They don't think of it as a weakness anymore. So I feel blessed for that. And I think that comes from the fact that in the olden days, if you were facing anxiety, the first thing that you were told to do is don't be anxious.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. You have to struggle with the anxiety, which makes you even more anxious. Then the second thing you were told to do is you're not supposed to be anxious. You know, this is a weakness. So you're trying to fight with your anxiety, and then you're told that you're struggling with it, but beyond that, you're not supposed to feel it, so there's something wrong with you. And then the final version, which I will say, no offense to my mom, I love my mom. My mom's amazing, but the amount of time she's taken off my nazar because I was anxious, you know, I mean, all that's left is to beat me with a jadu, you know, that type of nazar is horrifying. So literally, you know, that nay, you're not anxious. Somebody has put, you know, kala jadu on you, they put buri nazar on you. I'm like, stop, mom, I'm anxious. I'm anxious. I will write a book one day. There it is, you know. So I think, you know, honestly speaking, it's these levels and these intricacies. And I think that it's nice that people today accept it. And they can come up to you and say, hey, it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is valid. And that's amazing.
I also love that about our generation, honestly, because I've seen, like, when you see 3 generations in a house, like you see your mother, your grandmother, and you see you. And now when I see my grandmother being so accepting of things that she wouldn't have accepted like years ago,
Absolutely.
it's great to see, like, just like generations understand that.
Absolutely. And there is a lot of multi-generational trauma, by the way. There's a lot of people that come to me today because their parents didn't go for therapy.
Yes.
Had their parents gone for therapy, but they might not be with me. But then again, you know, therapists have a very, very bad rap of saying that, okay, a lot of people say this, that, oh, we're going to do the inner child, so that means I'm blaming your parents. I'm not blaming your parents. Parents are amazing. I'm a parent of 2, okay? But there are times where I might have done something which is not so amazing, and that has impacted my child. So that doesn't mean I'm a bad human being. It just means that, okay, sometimes my parenting skills are a little wishy-washy, and it happens, right? It's okay. So yeah, lots of differences between your grandmother, your mother, and you. And honestly, the question that you guys should be asking me today is, in your generation, who is not in therapy? Because that is actually what it is. Most people are, you know, regardless. Yeah.
So is it a good thing if you're not in therapy?
I think it's a personal choice. It's like choosing anything in life. It's a lifestyle choice. If you decide you don't want to do it, you want to do it. If you're comfortable and you feel like it's not impacting you, then don't go for therapy. But there's nothing wrong with going. There's so many different forms of therapy. My therapeutic model is cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy.
Can you break it down for our audience?
Sure. So cognitive behavioral therapy is basically where I address your thoughts. Your thoughts that could impact your behavioral patterns, knowing that thoughts are assumptions and not facts, and reframing them so that they're not, I'm not enough, I can't make friends, I am a loser, I am a failure. These thoughts that have accumulated through multiple experiences that you've gone through or individuals that you've connected with. And then dialectical behavioral therapy is the behavioral patterns that come from the core beliefs and modifying the behavioral patterns. I do what is called talk therapy. So as you can see when you communicate with me right now as well, I do a methodology of where we're going to talk to each other and I'll probably end up talking more. I'll be processing for you while you're just letting me know what's going on. And then we'll come to conclusions together of how to address these core beliefs and these thought processes that have cognitively impacted you. So basically, it's like this. You might come to me and say, Shai, I can't make friends. And I'm like, okay, give me an example. So, Shai, I can't make friends. I went to a party last night. I stood in the corner because I can't make friends. So your energy is already you standing in a corner. So nobody approaches you.
Correct.
And you don't approach anybody because you know you can't make friends. Nobody approaches you because you're standing there like so unapproachable. And then you leave the party solidified with the thought, see, I can't make friends. So it's how thoughts become things and how I come in to let you know, but no, you can make friends. You just are not following or you're not reframing that thought. You're just believing what it is. The second one is the amount of people that come to me. I love this. This is one of my favorites. And say, am I allowed to curse? Because I curse.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Speak your mind.
Yeah, thank you. My book was actually supposed to be called something else. I'll let you know what it was, but I was told I can't have that up there. But anyway, actually speaking, that come up to me and say, that's it. I attract assholes. I'm like, no, you attract everybody. You're good looking. You choose assholes.
Oh my
God. Now, why do you do that? We have to go to the core beliefs, because many people feel that your comfort level is safe, but that's not true. What if you grew up knowing that it's comfortable for a man to be this way with a girl, for a man to be dominant and the girl to be a little submissive, or you grew up saying it's okay to curse here and there at someone, or you grew up believing that love is conditional and that you have to, literally earn your love, or you grew up knowing that, okay, guys don't always see girls or girls don't always see guys. It's more about love, not about being seen. Then you're going to be comfortable with that. But that's not necessarily safe. In fact, most of the times when you feel safe is when you transform the pattern and when you actually unlearn what you're comfortable with, because it's discomfort and what your central nervous system is not comfortable with that actually is healthy. And that's when I come in with the DBT.
Today, we are actually going out of our
comfort zone.
There you go. Feels pretty safe, right?
Yeah, it does.
Exactly.
You're also very good at speaking, so it's very easy to be comfortable around you. And it's actually, I want to say, like, for our generation, when we think of therapy, for someone that doesn't go to therapy, they always think of a therapist as someone who says, so how do you feel about that?
Absolutely.
And I was so taken back by you saying that you're the one that speaks more, because it's making things in my mind work differently.
Absolutely. Because you're not coming to me to tell me how you feel. You're coming to me to question why you feel that way.
Correct.
And that's what so that's why if you go to other therapeutic, types of processors, some of them might give you a pill to get rid of anxiety.
Yeah.
Some might tell you to just keep talking until you get rid of anxiety. I'm going to tell you, dude, anxiety is your friend. It stops you from doing stupid shit. But you're not supposed to let it get control. Because the day it takes control over you, then something's wrong. But you're supposed to have it with you. It's a good thing. It's the thing that's kept me safe, because my anxiety stopped me from doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. God did too. I'm surprised I survived a lot too. But what I'm saying is that anxiety is your friend. It just is.
Since you brought this up, someone had asked a question about how do you know who the right therapist is for you?
So that's a very valid question. And whoever brought this up, I think that, they definitely understand what they're looking for. See, look, you'll never know who the right therapist is for you until you embark on the journey. That's the truth. But there are 3 components that really matter a lot when you're choosing a therapist. The first thing is, now there you need to feel comfortable. You need to know that I have the trust with this person. Number 2, the moment you feel your therapist is biased or judgmental, you can't be with that individual. We have to approach everything with unbiased, non-judgmental, complete open eyes. And no matter what you tell me, I should not be allowed to sway in my therapeutic guidance. And the third most important thing is that everything is super confidential.
Yeah.
See, when I take individuals under 18 or under 21, I am bound by confidentiality. But do you know how many parents are like, tell us. I'm like, listen, unless there's self-harm or harm to others, I cannot tell you. I just cannot. And if a client doesn't tell me about self-harm or harm to others within the mandated amount of time I need to know, I have to drop them as a client. I have to give them to somebody else, because that is the relationship. So to answer your question, it's as important for the therapist to know that they have the right client too, because the trust goes both ways. The emotional safety goes both ways. The confidentiality goes both ways. And the transparency goes both ways. But one of the biggest telltale signs, I would say, of choosing a therapist is if you cannot be transparent with them, they're not your therapist.
Understood.
You should be able to tell them
Everything.
Yeah.
Or they're not your therapist. They're not.
So they should make you feel that way, basically.
Actually, it's both ways. They will always try to make you feel that way, but you should always have the ability to feel safe enough to open up to them. That comes from you as well. See, not everything is about the other person. 50% of your trauma you have contributed to. You have, no matter what. And it's not because you meant to. It's just because you were culturally conditioned to behave in that particular fashion. And that's why today I always say, your behavior has an explanation. And I'm here to help you understand why people behave the way you do and why you behave the way you do. But I will give you the explanation, but I will not give you the justification. You're not justified to behave that way.
Oh.
That means you can do it. It explains it.
But it's not
You've had 5 boyfriends that have cheated on you, so you assume your 6th one is definitely cheating on you. It explains it, but it's not justified because he hasn't cheated on you yet.
We are learning a lot today.
So actually, we shot a podcast before, and I was having a conversation with Kanchi where I said that I feel like I don't feel FOMO anymore. Okay?
I don't feel FOMO at all.
I don't feel FOMO at all, okay? And I think it comes from a place, obviously, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I feel it comes from a place where I've experienced so much of it in school and I felt so left out that now I feel like now I don't want to go only. Now you call me, but I don't want to show up. So I don't know if that's toxic. If I'm actually not feeling it or...
So basically, honestly speaking, the thing is this, okay? FOMO is amazing. Fear of being included, the new FOMO, which is Phobia, is also on the other side. The thing that you're feeling is where the sensory stimulation was so much an overload that now you've shut it down completely. So yes, I don't want to call it toxic. Toxic is a very overused word. But when somebody comes to me also saying that I'm done, okay, I'm just done, and F it, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Then it tells me that the tolerance level that I was building for you as you were healing has gone to the other side of the spectrum. And that's not good either. We need balance. Everything's about balance. So yes, if somebody also comes up to me and says, good vibes only, positive vibes only, I'm like, no, sit down. I have to treat that like I treat depression. It's too much happiness. You're not supposed to do that. That's also toxic. Or first tell me what drug you're on because something is leading to it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. But the same way, yes. So FOMO, I agree with you that sometimes when you've been excluded so much, you've got that F it, I'm not interested anymore. But that's also not healthy because you have to distinguish very much so between the fact that it wasn't the lack of the invitations, it wasn't the invitations or the parties or the events that violated you. It was the people. Don't take away the parties, the events, and the good moments just because some stupid people did that to you. Take out the people. Don't take out the moments.
Yeah.
That's amazing, especially if the people aren't around. Why
You
is
can
the
still
problem?
go out, but with different people.
Yeah. That's amazing. You have changed my life.
Thank you. That's so nice.
No, genuinely, like I've never thought about it this way. That is so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone has asked you, is it normal that even though you have friends or a boyfriend and a family, you still feel empty inside, like there's something missing?
Absolutely. There is a big difference between being alone and being lonely.
Yeah.
Okay, you can have a boyfriend, you can have a lover, you can have a husband, you can have your family, you can have everybody. But what I said earlier, if you cannot talk to them and feel emotionally safe with them and feel actual, emotional safety, you are going to be lonely. Like I say all the time, I don't need you to love me. I love myself. I don't need you to respect me. I will earn my respect. I don't need you to value me because I am a value anyway. My value is huge. I just need you to make me feel emotionally safe. If you can do that, then I feel good. So that has nothing to do with one another. You might have a huge social circle.
Yeah.
You might have a phenomenal familial circle, but you might not feel emotionally safe. And that's when you get lonely. So find the 1 or 2 people. Again, find them without the expectation.
Yeah.
A lot of us, what happens is, and this is where the loneliness comes from, we have an idea. And whether it's an idea of a friendship, an idea of a partnership, an idea of a situationship, an idea of a family, and then we try to put these people in that idea. That's never going to work. They're just going to bounce off. It's about meeting a person and creating an idea together. Then you won't be as lonely.
Yeah, Yeah.
How many times have you looked back on something and said, wow, 90% of the time, including parents to children, we're trying to make them into the versions we want. We're not letting them be the versions they are. That's why you feel lonely, because people are just trying to change you and you're trying to change them. We have been brought up to believe that expect. Why? Because we're constantly meeting expectations. It's not about that. I would rather somebody just need the requirements and the essentials from me. And I have the needs and requirements and essentials from them. I don't want to have expectations, and I don't want anybody to expect things from me either. I'm going to heal you, but don't put a timeline on it. I'm going to be there for you, but I'm not 24/7 on call for you. You have to understand what is essential. And also keep one thing in mind. It's not about you and them. It's about the relationship you share. When a client comes to me individually, I'm a couples therapist, right? As well, I'm a marriage and family therapist. When you come to me individually, you are my client. When you come to me as a couple, the relationship is my client.
Yeah, not the couple.
Not you guys. And I care about both of you, but I care more about what you're doing for the relationship. So if you're lonely, evaluate the relationship, because there's something wrong with it.
How do you feel about the concept? Like a lot of our Indian parents tell us this, where they tell us that no one's perfect. You can't just cut everyone out of your life. You have to deal with them. You have to accept them for who they are. And sometimes I feel like people know that someone is not meeting their expectations or the idea of who they want their partner to be, and they still stick with them because they think that they are supposed to be adjusting or they are supposed to be understanding of who they are. But at the same time, they feel like they're compromising. So what do you feel like? What should they do in that situation? Should they cut the person off? Should they compromise?
Well, first and foremost, everything's a compromise.
Yeah.
You cut the person off when you're sacrificing. Sacrifice and compromise are very different. Second of all, this whole I accept you, I deny you, no, we're not superior to accept or deny anyone. She's not better than you, you're not better than me, I'm not better than you guys. We're different. And that's our USP. Our unique superpower is that we're different. Now, we have two choices. Okay? The first thing is we don't accept or deny because we don't want to have a superiority complex. Second thing is we're not equal. I don't want to be equal to you. I don't want you to be equal to me. Okay? I want to be different. And I want to know if our differences and our differences that we fight on actually complement each other. So I'm going to accommodate and manage you instead. And you're going to accommodate and manage me instead. And we're going to be less controversial and more conversational. So less confrontational and more conversational. And we're not going to shut down when we're supposed to talk. And we're not going to talk when we're supposed to shut down. And I'm not going to listen to respond to you. I'm going to listen to understand you, and you're going to do the same. And then, if we still feel that our differences are greater, and we would have to be with each other at our own expense, that's when you'd say, it's not working out. But until you don't do all of this, there's no black and white relationship. You will always be settling, because I'll tell you something. It's not the cliche of imperfections being amazing. It's not about embracing your imperfections, embracing your flaws. It's about knowing that nothing in life is constant. And the faster you come to terms with perfect, imperfect, the easier life is going to be for you. Come to terms with the fact that you might love someone, but you won't like them all the time. And that's
true.
okay. And that's absolutely okay. And they're going to feel the same about you. And that's okay. You're not supposed to love someone all the time. You're just supposed to love yourself all the time. And you're not supposed to like someone all the time either. So you can love them deep down inside, but you may not like them. And that's fine.
You know what's really common nowadays? Gen Z is saying they want mental health leave. And I think that's a stigma and people make fun of it. But I feel that's great. They know what they want. They know how they're feeling. They know when they want time off. Do you think it's valid?
Okay. So just like anything, I mean, first of all, I want to address the fact that we have given physical health so much importance.
Yeah.
And we've never given it to mental health. Even look at it today. We have to do our physicals. Even for insurance, we have to do our physicals. For college, nobody's ever told me I have to do a mental health check. But we have to do our physicals. We have to check every organ. So we've checked every organ, but we don't do a mental health exam. Honestly speaking, I think that this is something that is so new that some people might take advantage of it. But I think what organizations and people need to understand is, like I said earlier, if you feel that your fear, your sadness, or any sort of stress is manifesting into areas that are affecting your executive functioning, even professionally, then yes, you have the right to ask for it. But if you are saying to me as HR that, listen, my boyfriend broke up with me yesterday, so I need 2 weeks off. I'm going to say you take 2 days off, go eat lots of ice cream, and please report back to work, okay?
Yeah.
So it is the reason, and it is the diagnosis, and it is the prognosis that determines whether it's justified or valid or not. But to be able to know as a Gen Z that you have the option, I think is a wonderful thing. It makes you feel more secure. It's the same way of knowing that if I get pregnant, I have maternity leave. If I should know and feel comfortable enough to know that my boss will understand or my organization will understand that I'm not feeling too great, so I need some time off. Absolutely valid. Just don't abuse it.
Yeah.
We all tend to do that.
Yeah. Also because there's no way to really prove it. Like when you're physically ill, you can say, oh, look, I have fever.
Absolutely.
But when you're like mentally having a low day, it's way harder to prove it and say.
It is.
So I guess that's where the issues come in, where the boss
It is.
doesn't believe the employee.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
So I think, at least from what we understand, correct me if I'm wrong, that being anxious and having anxiety are two different things, or is it the same thing?
No, I would say being anxious, okay, again, it's the way you phrase it. If you are, it's like the same thing of saying I have a disorder versus certain characteristic traits.
Correct.
Characteristic traits are okay. It's okay to be anxious. But when you say I have anxiety, that's something you own. And when you own that anxiety, it is a little more intense than it should be.
Okay.
So it is the perception, but perception is reality. So remember that. So again, it's like saying the same thing. I have feelings, but I don't want my feelings to have me. That's the difference. Right?
Yeah.
So if someone is anxious, and this is one of the questions our audience has asked, are there any, I don't want to call it a hack, but any methods that they can use, like a quick method to just calm down?
Absolutely. So basically one thing that I really believe is important is the grounding exercises, and first we start with breathing. So the breathing is inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. You do that a couple of times, but that's your basic generic way of just calming your central nervous system down immediately. After that, it's about calming the whole system down, which means your brain, your central nervous system, and everything that you're feeling with the anxiety that's taken control. It's called the 5 senses. So the first thing you do is you look at 5 things and focus on that.
Okay.
Then you hear 4 things and focus on that. Then you smell 3 things and focus on that. Then you taste 2 things actually, and you focus on that. And then you feel 1 thing and you focus on that. Most people do the taste after. I like the feel because I just believe that touch is something that can be very soothing. And so I think that tends to help. And knowing in your heart, which I always say to all of my clients, is any urge, any sensation, it will only last a maximum of 15 minutes. It will dissipate by itself anyway. But if you cannot handle those 15 minutes, do these exercises. They work.
Understood. That is actually very helpful.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people could use it.
We can use it every time you feel overwhelmed.
Absolutely. It does not replace therapy.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a tool that you can use. But if you see it happening too often, then please reach out to someone.
Calms you down. Yeah.
It does.
I also feel that when someone goes through something and people around them, I feel they have to be very careful Like how to deal with the person or how to speak to them. I think it also takes a toll on them.
It does.
Like,
It does.
do they also need therapy?
So we call that vicarious trauma. It's where somebody you love has gone through trauma and you, as their loved one, feel a certain amount of pain. Look, it's beautiful to be an empath. I'm an empath. But there are two types of empaths. And there are two types of empathies.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one, now imagine if I had the second one, but the first one is EFF, effective empathy, where I understand your pain. I can really connect with it and I can guide you through it. I can even feel it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
The second one is affective empathy, AFF. Affective empathy is where I feel your pain. I definitely can relate to it. I can guide you through it. But I make your pain my pain. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because then how am I supposed to help you? Because I've made your pain my pain. Can you imagine what the amount of clients I have if I was an affective empath? It would be impossible. So what you do is when you know that your loved one is facing something, the first thing I want you to do is separate the fact that they are going through that from what you are feeling about them going through that. Because protection doesn't come from, and honestly, true protection doesn't come from me resolving your situation.
Correct.
True protection comes from me teaching you to resolve your own situation. If I really love you, I'm not supposed to just take you through it. I'm supposed to explain to you and help you develop the skill set to take yourself through it. And that's why I tell all my clients, you're here with me now, but the end objective for you might be this. The end objective for me is to make you into your own therapist.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's so nice. I actually know a couple of friends that have gone to therapy a few times, and then I know people that keep going to therapy, right?
Absolutely.
And the few friends that have gone to therapy, they always say that those 3 weeks or 6 weeks or however long it was really helped them figure out how to live life on their own. I always ask, how do you know when to stop? Like, don't you feel the need to keep talking about things? And they always say that, no, like now we know how to deal with it. And I feel like that's so nice to be sorted out.
Sorted out. Wow. Okay. Sorted out. I don't think I'm sorted out. That's fun. It's a fun way to look at it. But it's the ability to manage it. That's what I'm saying. To know when you have something that needs management and to create those management skills yourself by going to an expert, but to know when you need treatment. The only thing, like I said, if you think you can manage what you're going through, you're good to go. You're never going to be sorted, okay? Because life is just like that. I say it all the time. Life is simple, but it's not easy.
Okay, I have a 3-part question.
Okay.
So this person has a lot of questions. Okay, I'm going to go in with the first one. How do past experiences shape my current feelings and behaviors?
Okay. So the fact is that every experience makes you into who you are today. There is no experience, good or sad. I don't use the word bad, but good or untoward, that is not going to attribute to who you are today. Because the fact of the matter is that everything that happens to you, you do grow through it, whether you realize it or not. And it will impact you. The ability to not let it impact you in a very negative way is to actually dissect what happened to you and heal from the pain to the point where you feel it till you cannot feel it anymore. So what I'm saying is, if the question was about a past experience that was negative and it impacting her relationships or her functionality today, it's about facing that negative, not avoiding it, letting it take over for the time period that it needs to until you have really processed it and healed from it so it doesn't impact you moving forward. Because there's one methodology that people always use. Let it go and move on. But to let something go, you have to keep revisiting it and holding on to it. To move on from something, you have to still go to that point and move on from it. I believe let it be and move forward. It has happened. You have felt it. You have processed it. You have healed from it. You have taken its power away, but it cannot change it. You move forward knowing it happened, but you just move forward with it. You don't carry it with you everywhere you go. Does that explain it?
That does make sense, yes. Okay. Does it matter how long it takes you to move on from it?
Not at all. Everybody's got a different methodology of how they deal with it. Everybody's got a different timeline. Again, it's not how long, it's how intense. At some point, if it doesn't reduce, then there's an issue.
Okay.
And we have to talk about that.
Yeah. With time, as long as it's getting a little better, it's good.
It's good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
A little copable. You have to be able to cope with it.
Yeah. Okay. Next part. How do my core beliefs affect my emotions?
Oh my God. Your core beliefs always, they're always, but here is the irony. Your core beliefs affect your emotions because you believe that those core beliefs are your identity. But those core beliefs and those thoughts are actually not the self. The self is the self that is listening to the thoughts and listening and being guided by the core beliefs. So the moment that you recognize that the core beliefs are actually from external factors, other people, situations, then you'll be able to split them from your emotions. But otherwise, it's very difficult. Most people also believe that emotions stem from the mind and feelings from the body, because I feel it's the other way around. Emotions stem from the core beliefs. The feelings are the way you interpret those emotions, so they come from the mind. So you have to work out that triad and know that, okay, wait a minute, those core beliefs are actually not beliefs that I possess, that I, the self, identify with. We come into this world with no beliefs. Those are beliefs that were put into us and that we have started listening to. So you change your relationship with it. You change the dynamic you have with the core belief. Then it stops impacting your emotions.
So do you mean that like self-awareness is first where you realize that this is something you've been taught? Like you have to accept that first, accept that that is not something that you were born with.
Absolutely.
And then,
where are we born with anything?
Yeah.
We come as babies. The best communication was just crying. We cry when we're hungry. We cry when we have to go to the bathroom. We cry if our teeth are coming in. We just cry. But then suddenly we start being told that no, this is happening and that is happening. And then we start to believe these things and we internalize it. So the internalization is what develops it. But just because it's internalized doesn't mean it's a part of my identity. In fact, the more core beliefs we have, the less identity we actually possess. Because they replace who we actually are. Because your core belief is not something that you have created yourself. Your core belief is something that you have started to believe about yourself because of something that happened.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a little deep.
Yeah.
That book tired me. It was exhausting.
How long did it take you to write this book?
Okay, so the book, this beautiful book. This book actually took me about 6 months to write. That's it. Only because it is literally a journal that I decided if I'm going to be the therapist I ideally want to be, I have to release all of this. And I decided to just write and write and write and write, and then I put it away. I said, I'm never going to publish this book. And then suddenly, as I was going through my therapeutic processing with people, whenever I would share, we do self with the therapist, which means we would share one of our experiences to connect with the client. When I started sharing those, clients were like, wow, this is helping us even more. Can you please publish a book with your experiences? And I would keep smiling. I'm like, okay, I have that. And then, so then I decided to take it out 5 years later.
Oh.
And I decided to give it to, so I had a lot of publishing houses approach me, but I was of the firm belief that I wanted to do it with a woman-owned entrepreneurship.
Nice.
And because I like working. So my literary agent of Word Famous, Dipti, is a woman. And Renu Verma, who's Vitasta, is the publisher of this book. And it just became what it was. And the title is very interesting. So I've been writing Love That Was Meant to Be Scratched Out, Meant for Me. I've been writing poetry since I was like 5. Like, I just love poetry. And when I wrote this book, I wrote this one quote. And in fact, I've had a client tattoo it. And it said, I loved loving you, for that was meant to be. I loved letting you go, for that was meant for me.
Oh my God.
And that's where the title comes from. And that's why you learn that letting go has to be something you do because it's meant to make you feel the love that you've been giving to others. The day you start to treat and love yourself the way you have loved other people, trust me, life just transforms. And it makes you more lovable too. I'm an easier person to love today.
Yeah.
Because of that. It's a sad quote, but it's a true quote.
Someone actually got a
Tattoo.
tattoo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, they got it tattooed.
Maybe post this book release, a lot of other people are going to get the same tattoo.
I hope not. But if they want to, all the power to them, because it's a really long quote. I have 14 tattoos. I love tattoos.
wow.
Okay? I have tons of them. But that's long. Yeah.
Maybe you should get this tattoo.
Yeah, seriously. No. Can you imagine? No, it's okay. Yeah. I want to get Shai tattooed.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, no.
Yeah, tell us
You
about
should.
that.
I want to. I'm not getting it yet.
Why do people call you Shai?
Oh, why do people call me Shai? People call me Shai because it is my pet name, but because the book is extremely revealing. And it was a request by my family, you know, that because it's so revealing, because it talks about a lot of things, including my sexual assault and things like that. So a lot of like, I've had a eating disorder as well. I've been sexually assaulted. There's a lot in here about, you know, different episodes of pain and all. And so my children specifically, they just said, Mom, if you don't mind, can you write it under Shai C? And I said, sure. Also, I had a different title in mind, which, you know, that was one of the main reasons. But anyway, but yeah.
So it feels
that's
more personal.
it is very personal. It is a very personal book, and it's a revelation, and
I think it's very brave to talk about these things. I know you said that you tell your patients these things, your clients these things, and it helps them. But to write a whole book about it and literally leave
it out there for
leave
the
it
world.
open for the world to see and read is very, very brave.
Thank you.
Takes a lot
Thank
of
you.
guts.
Thank you. I actually don't think it was. I didn't look at it as something brave. When I actually put it aside, I didn't put it aside because I was scared to share it with the world. I put it aside because I didn't want the world to think I was making it about me. That was the reason. But then I realized that the best way to transform pain to power is knowing if I am hurting, I need to speak to someone. But if I am hurting and I speak to someone and I feel better, I need to tell the person that's hurting. And so I used my pain, healed it, and said people need to know this.
Yeah.
So it's more about that.
That's really nice.
I actually do not read, but after listening to you, I want to read this.
Thank you. That is the biggest compliment
I am not a
ever.
reader, but I'm going to read this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to give me your review.
Yeah, no, I'll have to read it.
Yeah, but I will ask you to give me your
Yeah,
review.
yeah.
Because it is a good book. I will say that. Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. We are going to move on to the next segment.
Sure.
Yeah.
We actually have something interesting that like our generation, or actually everyone, even our parents and stuff, they use certain terms very casually. Okay, yeah.
Which I don't like it because I know there's a meaning behind all these terms.
Absolutely.
Like ADHD, OCD. It's not just you can't self-diagnose yourself and say, oh, I have ADHD.
Oh, I'm depressed today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
can you explain to us how you know if you have it, why you can't casually use it,
Absolutely.
how to speak to someone that does have it? Yeah.
I completely agree with you that it is so overutilized today. It's like, oh God, don't be so ADHD. Or don't be so OCD. Or don't be this. See, the reason is because ADHD, OCD, anxiety, depression, they're actually normalizing a little bit now.
Yeah.
Okay? I think very honestly Everybody is a little ADHD. Everybody is a little bipolar. And everybody's a little bi-curious. But what I'm saying is people don't really act onto this, okay? What they do is they tend to connect with these terms, but they don't really become committed actions. Now, when people overutilize the term, the only thing I feel is you're overutilizing it in a humorous way or in a judgmental way. That's what I have an issue with. I don't have an issue with individuals just using it, saying, I feel really OCD today. It's okay. Like I told you, there's a disorder and there's a characteristic trait. Maybe at that given moment, that particular mood or that energy is there. But you don't say, you are acting ADHD or I am acting ADHD. You say, I feel a little ADHD today. I feel a little OCD today. You are coming across as feeling a little ADHD, as feeling a little OCD. But honestly speaking, I can't go out there and explain that to every parent or to every generation that uses these terms. But I can say that using these terms, as much as it normalizes it, it also dilutes the impact of the people that actually have it. You know, and I mean, it's the same thing of where, you know, you don't say I look fat, you say I look pregnant. It's like, you can't, you know? But then again, this is the human nature, right? We always try to use terminology and just, I don't know, kind of morph it into something ridiculous.
Very annoying when I hear someone say that I'm feeling like I think I have OCD or I think I have ADHD. When you actually know someone else who actually has it and how it is so different from what you're feeling right now. But you can't tell them anything. You're just like, okay.
Because honestly speaking, political correctness went out the window a long time ago, right? It just did, right? I mean, it's the same way of, you know, you get a little cut on your finger and you're like, oh my God, I need to check this out. I hope I don't have anything serious. But then there are people around you that have something very serious. And you feel like in a way that you're putting them down. But like I said, the intent, it boils down to this. I used to train in emotional intelligence. And it's a beautiful thing to learn emotional intelligence, but it's not the same as emotional maturity. That's a little different. Right?
We saw your bio actually. Your Instagram bio has something.
Emotionologist. Yes. We were trying to figure out what that means.
So I'm a skilled emotionologist. Okay. It is the science of emotions. I did create the term. I'm sure it exists somewhere, but
we tried to find it.
I call myself a skilled emotionologist because I think that even when I was a brand consultant, the reason I was the consultant I was is I didn't do B2B and B2C. I always did B2H. It had to be brand to human. Everything for me is about the human mind. I've studied Martin Lindstrom's biology, which is BUY. So it's the neurological essences behind consumer buying patterns. Everything for me starts with emotion, ends with emotion, is with emotion. So for me, I call myself a skilled emotionologist because I think the science of emotions is something that guides everything I do, even my therapeutic practice. And I had to add in skilled. For heaven's sakes, I have 8 degrees. Let me add in some of that.
You have 8 degrees?
I'm doing my PhD right now, too.
Oh, wow. You're still studying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever stop. It's a little OCD. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I am slightly. I've diagnosed myself with a little OCD. Yeah, not germophobia, but when I start something, I go after it.
So how do you know that, like, what do you mean you've diagnosed yourself with OCD?
Personality traits are slightly of the obsessive compulsive nature. Where I do believe that, like, for example, if I want to watch a TV show, I will binge it.
Yes.
I will binge it because I get obsessed with wanting to watch it.
Correct.
I also know I have an addictive personality. So even when I quit smoking, it was a big thing, you know. It took me 20 minutes to do it, but I did it only when I was given a real diagnosis of a physical, ailment where the smoking would impact me. So I said, okay, I need to quit. But I have that addictive personality. I have that level of where I can ruminate about things, not just reflect, but also ruminate. I have the understanding of knowing that I do possess the personality traits of obsessive compulsive, but I don't have the disorder. I have the personality traits. So I'm able to diagnose that. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So everyone can have personality traits.
A lot of us do. Of course we do. Of multiple things, but that doesn't make it a disorder.
Yes.
You can have a menstrual cycle that comes every 5 to 6 weeks, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have PCOS.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, it's like that.
Yeah, but people need to understand that.
Yeah, people need to understand and but the fact is, do people understand? Most people are not living life to understand.
Yeah.
They're living life to just experience, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But when the moments require an understanding, even when you listen to understand, not respond. So at those points, you want to just breathe in a little bit.
One thing I've noticed is so many people around us, they want to go to therapy, but they are scared to tell their parents. Even someone asked us this, that how do I tell my parent? Because I think I have an eating disorder, but how do I tell her that I need to go to therapy?
So that's the thing. Sometimes, if you do not have the ability to be transparent with your parent, that's not a flaw. It's not a flaw with your parent. It's not a flaw with you. You have to evaluate why you have that feeling. Where is the fear stemming from? You're scared to tell them. You're embarrassed to tell them. So the best thing to do at that point is approach your parent and say, listen, I feel like I'm being negatively impacted by certain situations. I honestly don't know how to tell you about the negative impact, but would you mind taking me? Let them recommend someone for you to speak with. It could even be a guidance counselor. It could be an academic counselor. It could be an aunt. It could be someone else. But tell them, this has nothing to do with me and you. This has to do with the fact that there is a why behind what I'm doing. And that why is something I just need a little help understanding. And hopefully your parent will understand that. Let's take it even further and say your parent says no, that I'm sorry, this doesn't make sense. If you can't tell me, why should you go tell someone else?
Correct.
At that point, you have to tell your parent, mom or dad, do you tell me everything? Because if you can't tell me everything, please understand. Sometimes I can't tell you, not because I love you less, but because I love you too much. Because most of the time we can't talk to our parents because we're too scared to let them feel disappointed in us.
Yeah, that's so
to
true.
hurt their feelings or offend them or say something that
you feel that they'll be hurt if they get to know about you.
And then you will also, a lot of the times when parents judge us, when they say what they say, they're not mean. You'll know if your mom or dad is mean. They're actually unable to understand. And when they're unable to understand, you're having conversations that are more defensive based than discussion based.
Correct.
And that's what happens. Know when your communication patterns fall more towards always proving who you are and defending who you are versus stating who you are and discussing who you are. Because that relationship then needs a little help.
I think this is good. And
Do you also, a lot of our audience is really, really young, and some of them can't afford to pay for therapy or maybe, do it weekly. So do you think there's a way that they can, or are there groups or communities or someone they can speak to that's going through the same thing where they don't have to put in that amount of money to heal themselves?
So there are a lot of support groups out there. There are also a lot of books out there that might be able to, help you. But I don't think anything really replaces one-on-one therapy. Most therapists will have forums or quotas or, subsidized rates and amounts. It's a question of finding that. But more than anything else, there are support groups that you can go to. Just don't do them online because we don't know who's on the other side.
Correct.
Get some real due diligence done. Get some word of mouth, vetted, recommendations. But the first thing you can do, if you cannot afford it or you're too scared to talk about it, go to your mental health advocate in your school.
Yeah.
Speak with them, know from them what groups are out there, and then based on that, you can start doing your research. But yeah, support groups do help.
And even a mental health advocate in a school can't rat you out to your parents.
Yeah.
So
Checking
basically,
for audience.
so basically, if I don't know, I do see systems over here that are not very, not very, like, they don't really take mental health too well. Some schools, in fact, if you even go and tell them I feel a little suicidal, they might expel you, they might suspend you.
Yeah.
So it's a little scary. That's why I'm saying when you go, it's about going and speaking just about the superficial aspect and then being guided to someone else
who you can
that you
actually
can speak to at a greater length, detail, more intense.
Yes.
That's super helpful. Thank you so much. Okay.
This whole episode was super helpful.
Thank
I
you.
think we learned so much. We got to know
Thank
about
you.
so many things.
Thank you.
And even our audience would
Yeah,
have.
we hope Shai helped you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope I did.
And before we end the episode, we would like you to recommend something. So we do this thing called RheChi Recommends, where the guest can recommend any show, book, movie, anything they like for our audience.
Lovely. So, of course, I recommend the book.
Yeah.
Of course.
Which is,
That's going to be our recommendation.
that's your
for the week.
recommendation, which is fine.
Yes.
But that's also, I want to put a disclaimer, which is in there. It does not replace therapy.
Yeah.
It's just a book that'll help you understand why you feel the way you do. And it has affirmations and things like that. In addition to this book, I do recommend the book Attached, because I like that book, because I think I do an attachment style quiz with every single client that starts with me, because it talks about the different attachment style that you have based on the relationship you had with your caregivers, with individuals of consequence. But more than that, I think my favorite show in the whole world is Gilmore Girls.
Oh!
Okay? I have to
love
recommend
Gilmore
Gilmore Girls.
Girls.
I can watch it on repeat, only because I am very much like Lorelai. Very much, okay? And my daughter is very much like Rory, okay? And I really do believe that, I love my son a lot too, but this is just a Gilmore Girls moment,
Do you watch it with your daughter?
No, we actually watched it separately, but we plan to watch it together when we have time. But the fact of the matter is that it normalizes disruption. It normalizes distress. It normalizes the 3 generations. It normalizes control, influence, everything. And more than that, it normalizes the fact, the most important fact, that I love you, but I don't like you sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that is the most beautiful thing in the world, because it keeps families together, because you're not supposed to like each other all the time, but you're always supposed to love each other. There are 2 love languages that are the most important ones, not these affirmations and services. I got you and I get you. That's it. I got your back and I get you. And I always will.
Love that.
That's
the
so
perfect
nice.
way to end the episode.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing so much with us.
Thank you.
Like, share, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen to us on Spotify. Follow us on
Shai.
Instagram. Yes,
Thank
follow
you.
Shai on Instagram.
Get the book.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see you.
Same time, next week, same place.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, girls. Bye.